link to
Sure.
it. Okay.
So yeah, I think we're recording now. Good.
Yeah.
No, I would love to put it on my YouTube channel also, if you know,
absolutely.
if we get the video.
So namaste to all our listeners, and welcome to Evolve, Express, and Thrive. Now, the purpose of this talk, of course, is to get someone as accomplished as our guest speaker today, Astha Dixit, who is a Kathak dancer par excellence, to share her journey with us, how she has evolved through the different stages of her life to become who she is today. So we are going to trace the journey of this incredible woman, and I'm honored to have her on my show. So
thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Viji. I love both your names, so I'm going to call you both.
Yes, Vaijayanti is a very traditional name.
It's a very traditional. It rings so beautifully, you know. It sounds so nice. It sounds so nice. So thank you for introducing me and for inviting me on your talk show, Mindscape Solutions. And I'm so honored to be here and honored to meet you, you know, and be kind of talking about our journeys together, because yes, we will talk about mine, of course, and yours, you know, which is I think there's a lot of synergies. It's very interesting to bring the synergies together here. So I think we have some more people coming in, but let's keep, you know, I think we'll keep letting them in.
We can start, and I'll put it on speaker view for now, so that we are going to focus on you. Absolutely. So, Astha.
So yeah, so where do I begin? I mean, I started out when I was very young, when I was very passionate about dance. You know, I was pretty much, you could say, fanatic about dance, about learning dance, about dancing in front of the songs and in front of the movies and in front of all the choreographies. You know, I love the choreographies and the steps and everything, you know, so that shows obviously that's something that comes out really early as a child. So I was in India. I was, you know, born in New Delhi, and you know, I basically, my family migrated to the US, and there I was, you know, from a young age, I was obviously still interested in dance, but I was, you know, like I was a typical like young girl going to school, typical teenager, and enjoying everything, you know, like like just all the aspects of being in LA, you know. So we moved to Los Angeles, and that's basically where I graduated from UCLA. So, wonderful. Oh, I have another member of my family. Okay, that's my father.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah. So welcome. They are really excited to, you know, to see me and talk to me, because I think you know that you know, the news that I recently got married. So
absolutely,
you know,
congratulations.
Thank you. And so I shifted to Florida here, you know, and the sunshine state. So, you know, I'm here now, also pursuing my same passions in the same way. So that's why my family is really excited to see me. So anyways, you know, I graduated from UCLA as a computer engineer. And, you know, I actually loved, you know, technical solutions, and I was really good at math. I was really good at all the technical things, you know, and I worked as a consultant at Deloitte for a few years. Yeah. So, you know, it's like, you know, like I always talk about the similarities, you know, like how I made the shift, you know, and it's really a calling. It's life's purpose, because you know, there's really nothing to say or nothing wrong with sitting, you know, behind a computer and working, you know, for somebody, or you know, like, you know, making money for the, you know, for the corporate world, or making money for somebody, and also, you know, kind of setting up your own life in that way. But obviously, naturally, I had a calling. There was something that I really wanted to do, and I put so much importance in that, and I felt that, you know, I could not, if I did my job, my career, and I hung on to that, and I continued to dance, that I probably wouldn't be able to do justice to either, you know. So you know, I made that. It was a leap of faith, in life,
Absolutely.
leap of faith in my talent, leap in my, faith in my talents, knowing that, that if I really, really work hard at something, maybe I can do something different, So I moved to India, and so my mother and father, both who are on this call, they migrated, and they migrated like a year and a half before me, a year and a half to 2 years before me, and they got transferred with a wonderful opportunity. So my father had an opportunity to go back to India, where obviously we came from, and that to Gurgaon, which was very, very near the city, where we grew up, like Delhi. So it's just in the outskirts, Delhi NCR. So, so my parents, grabbed that opportunity and went back. So that itself is a story, but coming into, my dance career.
Yeah.
So I took that opportunity to go back, and that also, came with some offers from Telugu movies. I starred in, yes. So I starred in 2 Tollywood hit movies. And so my, because the way that happened was my passion for modeling was, at that age, basically like a parent also, that got me into the movies. So then I moved to Delhi, then I moved, back to India permanently with my parents, and I started learning Kathak. And I started learning in the Delhi Kathak Kendra, like in the New Delhi, in the heart of Delhi, which is near like Mandi House and everything. I started learning there from the gurus of the institute, and I started working there. And soon after, I worked at this prestigious repertory, and I started performing on my own, and with eventually which led me to open my own dance company. So, what can I say? The experiences are so vast, and of learning and performing in Delhi. But, I met so many gurus and so many people that inspired me, and so many people that I felt like they could speak volumes, they could talk about everything to the dance. And so I felt like I could just get so much here. I could just stay here and keep learning and getting so much. And I think that's how the journey is of dance. And I know, Vijay, you are like so interested in dance. You're so inspired by dance. And that's probably what brings us here today. So it's, and I know that that you've already also, in your family, you have people who write, who do poetry, who do kalam, and who connect with the divine in that way. So the journey, exactly what it is, what that is. So the expression and the emotion and the being able to express that, what's in the art form through these works of art, through these poetries.
In your ruh, in your soul.
Yeah. Being able to express that through your dance and through, on stage is like, it's like your emotions are coming together, and you are just standing there like, with the people, with hundreds of people or perhaps thousands of people, whatever, just they can see you, in a way like naked or in your essence, and it really connects you with who you are consistently. You're consistently in that role, So I was probably performing, 8 months a year. I was touring, I was going to different cities, and these experiences are something that is so rare, so difficult to even talk about. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
I was, seeing your video the other day on performing to a Sufi kalam. So I would like to know what attracted you to Sufi thinking, because it's a philosophy, it's a thought, it's very deep spirituality. So what attracted you to Sufi, and how did you kind of learn about Sufi thought, Sufi poetry? What was that journey?
Yeah, it started very early in my dance career. And in fact, my gurus were all surprised that why she's picking this and why is she like why does she only want to do poetry? Why does she only want to dance?
Yes, because
Sufi,
a lot of
Sufi, and
nazakat you need for that.
lot of nazakat, but yeah, it's also very different. It's also it's a bit different also, or new for the art form, in the sense that it's something a little different, and you have to connect to it, so obviously I was connecting to it. That's what was happening, and I was, but yes, it was like, because the language of Kathak is, it's a storytelling art form, right?
Yes,
so but
it is.
it normally is done in the temples, or it came from the temples.
Radha Krishna.
It talks about Radha Krishna, or it talks about, Lord Shiva, or it talks about, Lord Ganesha, or, so many different stutis and
Yes.
aradhanas, vandanas that we've learned, even shlokas, even like parans, Ganesh Paran, and all these things we've learned, so that is like, but the Sufis, I mean, they, it just, the sound of it in my ears, like the words, and the meaning, like I didn't necessarily know the meaning initially, because I was kind of, rough, or,
It's
like
Urdu. So first you had to actually learn a little bit of Urdu.
There would be, yeah, and there would be words that would just pass me by, like you said, but it touched the roo, it would touch the roo. So naturally, if it's, touching something in you, the words you already know, somewhere it, the meaning. That's why it's having that effect on you, So obviously I did my reading, and I did my study on internet, it's the best source today. And I started, like, and it was really, really effortless. Like, honestly, if I just tell you, I just did the most natural thing to me. I just, just picked up, and it was just coming. I mean, the poetries were finding me. And as I started working with more and more, like, bigger entities, or people who are making an impact on culture in India, who are really doing things, they started giving me poetries. They started approaching me to choreograph or compose a piece. And I was busy, like, next thing you know, I was busy throughout the year in just this work, and kind of translating these the alfas, each word, and trying to imagine, try to depict it. And again, it's like I say, it wasn't even effort. It was like I was just absorbed.
You're doing it effortlessly,
because absorbed in my work.
It was coming from your heart. Anything you do from your heart, you can do it effortlessly.
Yeah.
So that is, what in anything that you do in life, it becomes that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said you got married on 15th August.
Yeah.
That is the day of, independence.
Independence.
So
did I lose my independence?
Yes. Did you lose your freedom of action, I dare ask? Or is your husband a real pillar of strength, in your journey ahead? Because, I come from the space that women in our country find it difficult, A, to express what they want to do, and B, they are confined within the narrow space of cultural conditioning, which is difficult to challenge and, break through. Now, for you, yes, it was lucky because you were brought up in USA with a very different milieu, much more progressive, liberal milieu. Your parents were supportive. So what I would like to know is that support you got from your parents on your journey to empowering yourself as a dancer, is it still continuing in your married life?
Yes, so my parents supported me. That was a big milestone, because that's how I was able to leave my career, and come into the artist world, as a professional, and to really take that, that had the courage to do that, to take that first step. But I'm the conditioning is like you said, it's very, very, it goes into areas which especially in India, like, it goes into areas of the thought and people's way of thinking that one couldn't even probably see, So I also am one of them. It was, I also it's also hard for me to express, and like I'm doing, I'm trying now, I'm it's hard for me also, because so one has to basically, obviously look at the conditioning of the society they come in, and also to also to somewhat, not put people off, but find their way, and that can be a really fine balance, tricky balance. And this is, I've heard this from many people. Like, it's like, okay, bring others along,
Absolutely. Yes.
Get,
Integrate
get,
your professional
integrate,
and your
integrate.
family
Yes.
life.
And your family, everything.
And
your
make them a part
life,
of your dream. I think that's very important. If you are able to
dream.
Convey to them, how this is so meaningful to you, how it empowers you as a woman to be a better mother, a better wife,
exactly.
a better daughter-in-law, then they can also empower you.
Exactly. So to, basically to see that if you are fulfilled, then you can only be a better family member. You can only be a better daughter, better mother, better, wife. So that is the thing. And now coming to my, my marriage, and thank you so much for your, for mentioning that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And, to answer that, there is, my husband is a pillar of strength. It's what you said, so beautifully. He's a pillar of strength for me. And, and so we decided to get married on the 15th of August. So which was actually a symbol that, listen, look, this is something we are voluntarily doing, voluntarily.
Yes, we grow together. We're going to enjoy the freedom of abundance. What abundance brings to life. That
enjoy together. Enter into this partnership and be this for each other, so that's what I think this it's a beautiful thing, so that partnership, enjoy our pushing each other,
yes, both so have your own space of growth, and if you are both supportive and both grow together and appreciate each other and support each other, that's what life is about.
Absolutely. So this is this is all very last few months we have been seeing, we've been exploring together, we've been traveling together, growing together already, and the journey has just begun. So
absolutely. This is just the beginning. It's going to be a beautiful one. I'm going to show you that, because I had 46 years of a very, very blissful marriage. So I'm speaking from experience.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And
so, and my husband was supportive throughout. I'm into Rotary in a big way, so he gave me that support. I was with Sigma K. I used to travel with the students to take them, to different IIMs and IITs, and he always sort of said, "Fine, go ahead."
I think that's another thing that brings us. We have both worked with Sigma K. Yeah. So I also worked also early on in my dance. I got.
You worked as an artist, and I worked as an organizer.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I met so many organizers, and I met you. I would have been such a pleasure to do something.
I know.
Yeah.
And your story reminds me of Dr. Malavika Mitro, who's a great Kathak dancer from Calcutta. And she, in fact, came and told us how she had given up medicine because her parents insisted in doing it, but her heart was in dance. And she now runs her own academy here. And grooming the next generation.
Oh my gosh. You'll find many stories, Vijay, you'll find many stories of women who stood up and they chose their passion,
Yes.
And you can see it. I mean, you can see the fulfillment. You can see it in their work. You can see it in their body of work and their, what they're sharing daily, what they're posting and what they're giving to others, there's so much positivity they're bringing to society, So it definitely does, hurt me when somebody or for a moment, things like that, or says something that women shouldn't be doing that, or people should be following a more conventional route. Yes, like you said, integrated. Everything should be integrated into your life. Your creativity, your art, your passion, is going to make you a better family, a role model for society in every way. You'll be better in what you do. So that's important. You'll be better in what you do at home, what you bring home to your family. So that's really important to recognize, because I think, women are, standing up for their rights, but they're, really it's a sense of fulfillment and belonging if they get that.
Absolutely. And it is not in opposition to your family. It is
Exactly.
in synchronization with your family,
with your family. Yeah.
You're all growing together. You're all moving forward on this journey of life, holding hands. I think that is the best thing that can happen.
Absolutely. And my husband is there, so
of course,
you can say hi to him. I think he's also he's not turning the video on, but yes.
Okay, hi and congratulations and happy marriage, happy married bliss to both of you. Okay, now you and I have been fortunate in that sense, that we have been nurtured in an environment of support, both pre-marriage and during our marital life.
Yes.
But there are many women, Astha, who are facing obstacles in following their passion. How can they overcome it? Do you have any kind of tips that you can give them? Ultimate calls here. It's all here.
The internet, the media, the internet offers us so many solutions, and we don't no longer have to be in our silos, and we don't have to even necessarily ask permission to go and find a brilliant teacher online, find a class. I can be one of them, come to my website. I can teach you while you're sitting at home. You don't have to give up your career anymore. You don't have to, be head to heads with anyone, be head to head, to follow your passion. Simple,
Yes, online this word actually, pandemic has been like a boon, blessing in disguise, because people have been able to connect with the global community of teachers and gurus and leaders.
And we have all discovered something new during the pandemic, so it has been a blessing in disguise, as you said, and so I think that one finds fulfillment in so many things, I think many people even explored their own culinary talents, cooking.
Absolutely.
And all.
I was going to say that
during
you can just try your hands in global cuisine.
And Viji, all dancers are good cooks. I don't know if you knew that. They all, once you put them in the kitchen, you won't believe. Like one moment they're, after you see them on stage, they're on stage, and you put them in the kitchen and you won't believe what. So that's what that comes to show, right? It's art. It's all art and creativity.
Whatever. See, if you have that aesthetic sense in you, then it is reflected in everything that you do. That is
everything, right.
Yes.
So
So now let us move towards where you and I connected, where we came together, and that is in Arfine's word. So what brought you to Arfine's word?
Yes.
And how did your learning in that space enrich you or transform you into the person you are today? It's been a few years you've been working with him.
Yes. So actually hasn't been that long. So during the lockdown, I basically met him, online. I took up a 5-day challenge.
Okay, all right. So which one was it? It was CTF or was it
STF?
STF. Okay, Speak to a Fortune.
And he offered that, he himself was there throughout, and he offered that it was a free 5-day challenge. And I was just amazed. Okay, this guy is like talking about these possibilities, and I've been doing this in dance, but could this could be a career opportunity, because for me, I had, I was at home and I was in lockdown, and I was in India at the time. So this is like last year. So I took the step, and I kind of, started, taking, kind of listening to him and following more and more, and just to understand what it's all about, and what he talks about the mastermind. So that's a really, really interesting thing, because he says, and I think we talked about this also, if you hang out with the right people, then your mindset is right, and you're growing together. And you're opening doors together, you're opening your doors together. And that's what's happened. Like I have already met such a community of people. And that's exactly what, I thought would happen, and that's what he said. So, and it's already happening, like we met, it's so serendipitous. So, and it happened all at such a time, so I really felt like it was very serendipitous. And it's the possibilities. It's just the possibilities that it opens up, simply, So
absolutely.
yeah,
So
yeah.
from a dancer now, your shift has, or your pivot, as we say, has now shifted towards coaching. So you're thinking seriously of coaching. Now, are you going to add mindset to your dance training, or is it going to be coaching per se?
I'm sure the two will go hand in hand, and I'm sure they will only, up the level on both,
Yes, yes.
So I'm interested in coaching. I'm trying to right now find people to, pull from my family or my, from different directions who I can kind of work with.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and really practice with. And, because from a young age, I was definitely reading a lot. I was reading, I was reading life transformation coaches. I was, about even Tony Robbins we talked about. And, that was a bit of, Tony Robbins and so many authors also, Deepak Chopra.
Yes,
and also at the same time, I was reading a lot of, memoirs of a geisha and, works of art that kept me kept the wheels turning, that was early on. So I think maybe this is the moment where I can, see how that can transform and that can, or rather that can turn into something that I can do in a mastermind, as a mastermind, as a group, and to see how it can impact lives. So it's something I'm certainly exploring, but this is this is the feeling that I had when I started, when I was dancing. And I was kind of new, so it's same, I have goosebumps. And and so it's got to be something good, it's got to be a good feeling. So yeah.
And now you're on the cusp of bringing out a book.
Yeah.
So that's the culmination of your journey, all the experiences you've gathered, all the lives you have lived,
Yeah.
In your early years, then your middle years, as a dancer and as a coach. So what is the name of your book?
Yeah. So the book is Door to Heaven. It is my journey. It is my journey of coming to India to seek fulfillment through my dance, and how I found it, how I transitioned from that role at Deloitte as a computer engineer, as a consultant, to the role of to the role of coming to India to to explore my work in in Telugu cinema and screen, to then taking my passions to to dance and to the whole journey. So, but it's I think it's I actually wasn't going to talk about my book because I'm
not asking you to give me details, but the name itself is very intriguing. Door to Heaven.
Door
so
to heaven.
What is heaven in your mind? How do you conceive of heaven? Heaven on earth. We're not speaking of afterlife. What is your conception of heaven on this earth?
So it's very simple, finding happiness within. Happiness is not a concept. It's not something that to be achieved
extraneous,
outside yourself. It's finding your own heaven within. It's finding your own heaven within. And I also I'm inspired by Gautam Buddha, who just seeked enlightenment and sat there under the Bodhi tree till he could, till he was in that state of bliss, So that bliss we can find through dance. That bliss we feel every time we get on stage, every time I twirl, every time I come in front of the audience, every time I finish a dance and I leave, every time I feel that adrenaline, that is bliss, right? And it's right here, it's within us, right?
So I think we are just at the right moment to show you dancing to our audience. So if you have a video, why don't you share that, because it will give them that sense of exaltation that you experience while twirling, when you do your chakkars.
So Viji, I'm gonna share a few videos. One of my original productions.
Okay.
One of my original productions for choreographies that is done at the Neem Rana Palace. And you may or may not have seen it, but I'm going to start with this and then go to some of the more recent productions.
Wonderful. That was absolutely outstanding, exquisite and ethereal. That's
Thank you. And Viji, what does it mean to you? Like, how do you feel, and what do you get? Like, what do you understand, or what do you get from that? I mean, you are like the person. Like, you are the person.
No, not at all. I'm not a connoisseur, but I love Kathak, and I kind of, I get enervated when I see Kathak being danced. Yeah. It gives me a lot of sukoon.
So that's probably what did it for me. Like that, that feedback, that is so important. That if an artist a dancer doesn't get feedback, that this is what is the feeling, what is the
and there was complete feeling? Coordination of eye, hand, body, and spirit. Yeah. It's the expression. So
that's the moment.
It is the bhav, it's the expression, the abhinay, and your intricate foot movements. It was a perfect package. I mean, when I saw it, I got so entranced, I went and saw your Sufi video.
That's the moment, yes. And abhinay basically is the word from the Natya Shastra, which means the expression, right? Abhinay is the expression through the dance,
That is the soul of the dance. There's so many, I've seen artists, they have a lot of virtuosity. You know what I mean to say? But there's no soul, there's no roux in the dance. There's no connect. But
yeah.
your dance, though it was on a video, it connected to me. And that is why I got in touch with you. I said, Astha, I want to have you on my show. And you are generous enough.
It is my honor. It is my pleasure to be talking to such a person, honestly, like, because you are so, like, I'm amazed. I'm so impressed. Like, I have to say, you're so fluent. You're so appreciative, and like you said, it's, you can feel that feedback, when you're on stage. So I'm just talking openly, that feeling, that feedback is what kind of like brings you that elevation, and it's from both, the artist and the person observing, the appreciating, it's like kind of the journey. You do it, it's together,
Yes, the adrenaline starts pumping when you know that you're connecting from soul to soul and eye to eye.
That's what absolutely. Thank you so much for your words of appreciation. It means a lot. And I'm just going to share one more video, and then I want to talk about your book, because I really want to know about that. I'm so interested. So because I don't I'm just kind of limiting it. I'm going to share a recent production that I did at the Kamani Auditorium. Just give me a moment to pull it up. Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes, In Search of Love.
Okay, I'm going to let it play a little bit so you can...
When I came from the US 10 years ago, I wasn't sure what made me train at the feet of my gurus for 5 hours a day. Now I know what I was looking for. Dance for me is a spiritual journey. Dance is the pure expression of the soul, the language of the soul. Embracing all dance forms and all dance styles as one, I chose the art form of Kathak to express my inner self. Through these stories in the production, I have tried to bring out different expressions of the soul through dance. I want to thank my...
So I'm just going to skip forward now to get some glimpses, and you'll eventually see it in person, I hope. Next year,
Okay. So this is a production you did in USA, or it was done in Delhi?
No, this is at the Kamani Auditorium in New Delhi.
Okay.
It's a very prestigious auditorium, and I've performed there multiple times, numerous times. And they hold the yearly festival, the big festival there every year in February, the Kathak festival, Kathak Mahotsav.
Where is this? Your voice had gone soft, so I couldn't get it. The Kamani Hall, where is this?
Yes, so this is in New Delhi.
Okay.
New Delhi, yeah. So I'll just show you a bit. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Look at the colors.
Yeah. Okay, I'll play.
So is that Nawab Wajid Ali Shah?
It is. You got it. Yes.
Yes.
This is a bit of the Mughal culture.
Yes.
And my
Yes.
production, my play starts out of the backdrop of the Mughal.
Can you just raise the sound, Astha? The sound?
Yes, let me stop a screen share because I think that's what is. Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. And just raise the sound a little bit so that, we can.
Can you hear me? Like my voice? Or is
Yes.
it?
No,
Yeah,
it's fine.
okay.
It's absolutely
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So yeah, that's set in the Mughal backdrop, and that's where my play starts. And this is, as you were asking earlier, this is at the Kamani Auditorium in New Delhi.
Okay.
And it's a very prestigious location.
Yes,
and,
yes, I've heard about that.
Yeah. So I performed there numerous times, and I was saying that I performed there numerous times, and because every year that's where the big Kathak festival happens. The Kathak
Okay.
So the festivals happen there. So this is, so you can see the synergies, of dance and coaching. It's really a purpose. It's like the purpose. And that's what this whole talk is about, passion to purpose, finding your purpose.
True.
And, the purpose found me, coaching found me. Dance is my purpose. Dance has been like, running through me, has been the theme of my life, has been theme of my work, and this production is going to sure to be on the road. I mean, can you resist this production? There are just a few snippets, so VG, it's very much hand in hand. I think the dance coaching is very much hand in hand. So
fabulous.
That's, so I know that. Tell me a little bit about Pivot and Confidence, your book. I did. Yeah,
yes.
I'm really curious.
You must read it. Basically, I was inspired by my father's journey. My father began his life in the army. Then when I was about 9 years old, a new service was created to administer the Northeast. It was called NIFA in those days. Now it's Arunachal Pradesh. So they took in officers from the armed forces, from the Air Force and the Army and the IAS to create this new service. Jawaharlal Nehru, our first prime minister, created this new service. And he took people from the defense because there were no roads. So you had to, literally travel on foot for 30 days or on horseback. And he felt that the defense people had that training and discipline. And that is how he joined. For him, it was a leap of faith. That is where I got the inspiration that he knew nothing about Arunachal Pradesh. He knew nothing about NIFA. He just took the leap of faith. And it took him to the pinnacle of his career. As an IAS officer, he retired as the special secretary to the governor of Tripura.
Wow.
At additional secretary level. So that inspired me, that let me begin with my father's story, his journey of pivoting from the defense forces to the administrative service without knowing anything about the place he's going to go to work, the people he's going to administer. But it was a journey of growth, of evolution for him. So when I retired, by the way, I'm 71 now. So when I retired,
looking like your 30s, looking like you're in your 30s.
Doesn't look.
2 years, 30s and 40s. There's Dr. Surendra. I think he can say the same, right?
Namaste.
30.
I'm 71.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.
My player.
Thank you so much. So, I thought that I've been teaching, to teenagers, adolescents for 42 years. And there's been a lot of experiential learning, because I've counseled students, their parents, and today we have lots of students who are suffering from a traumatic condition at home, parents on the verge of divorce or separation, there's alienation. At that age, you have lots of problems. And I was a surrogate mother to them. They would come to me with their problems, and I would, because I had my own daughter whom I had reared, so I knew how the mind of a girl works.
Right.
And then, of course, I was, doing a lot by way of reading up. Nowadays, everything is there. You read, you see. And so that was a wonderful journey I had. And teaching became my passion and purpose over so many years. So then finally, when I the pandemic happened and they released us from service. So I said that let me expand that into coaching. But for that, I need training. I need to be in a system which will give me the necessary expertise and the know-how.
Tools and
the mindset.
Mindset.
I discovered our field like you, and I found what I was looking for, and that journey began.
So
But I also explored, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, their program, Project Next, Mind Valley, Ajit Nawalkar, Vishen Lakhani. So I wanted to have a very holistic approach to coaching, different, the spiritual, the mental, the physical, the psycho,
everything.
Sexual, everything, because that is the package. We human beings, we function at so many planes. It's not just mental.
Exactly, the integration.
Yes.
And I just have to say your journey is so inspiring. And like I said, I'm 100% going to read your book. That is for sure. And like I said, I've already, I've just ordered it on Amazon or just like, and I was traveling. But like people like us are so, sometimes you can't see, the journey so clearly, so I'm glad that I want to talk about it, because people like us, we're out, you can see it. We're kind of in the limelight,
yes,
or we're, there out there,
And my message is for women. My message is for women who bottle up their feelings, who cannot express what they want, or they feel guilty and ashamed. They feel that, that my child, that money must be spent on my child's education. So how can I sort of spend that money on myself for my, investment for my own self-growth? But the story is that unless you grow, how are you going to take your family with you?
Do anything for anyone
you
else.
have to grow first, then when your cup is full, from a full cup you can share, you can spill it to others. Empty cup, what are you going to give? You can't give anything.
You cannot
How can you
yeah,
give
true.
anything to anyone? How can you be a mother?
So I have taken real stories, none of them are like, it's my daughter, it's my niece, it's my sister, my students, people who have taken that decision. They are mothers, they are wives, but they're also professional women who have taken the decision to up the ante and carry on to establish a full-fledged career. So I'll give you one example, very simple example. My niece, as you said, you went into computer engineering because there was this parental kind of, I won't say push, but that kind of encouragement. Yes. So my niece also, they are Gujarat. My brother-in-law is a Gujarati. 2 architects. Again, I was telling you I have a family of architects.
I told you so many similarities.
My sister and my brother-in-law, they met in MS University while they were doing architecture over there. So the thing is that the niece, naturally, it was thought that she'd take up engineering, and she got instrumentation. And she qualified as an instrumentation engineer. And she joined a company, one of the top companies. But she said, when I went there and I saw all these lights, going on and off, I said, that's not my cup of tea. She just left everything and came back and said, I like to draw. I like graphics.
Good.
So she went to Dhirubhai Ambani Institute and she learned graphics. She did her master's, then her PhD. She met a husband there, and the two of them now have their own company. And they are creating magic, museums, interfaces.
Fantastic. So this story is not something that we don't hear about. The story is common to many, who have followed their passion.
Right.
And the whole, the topic of this is passion to purpose. People who have followed their passion, who've discovered, who found their purpose, and are sharing it constantly, with people. That's what we're doing through our work now, through the coaching, and through this COVID, this is the thing that has like found me, that has caught me. I always say that it's what finds me.
Yes. Always.
STF found me. As I was destined to be here 100%.
The guru always finds you. It's always that. The guru finds you when the time is right. You will not go. If you go hunting also, you will not get.
you won't get,
Time has
you
to
won't
be.
find, I mean, you won't get, this, what we're getting
Time
now.
has to be.
And really it's been amazing so far. So I'm just like, I don't want to, like, I'm just excited to begin, that this new avenue, this new area of my life.
Absolutely.
But I do want to share, like my website, which is basically my, mailing list, so that I can keep everyone informed. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna send a link on the chat, but first I'll just share my screen so that you can
Sure.
I can show you the website. It's just, I want to keep everyone updated. So can you see this?
No, the screen sharing is
No,
not yet
no
started.
screen share.
Okay. Probably let me just grab the link and put it in the chat so that you know how
Put
to
it on the
stay in
chat.
touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those who want to see it, they can see it on the chat. I'll just put on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this link basically, it's just it's a subscription link. I'll send that to.
So a very warm welcome to everyone else who has joined us during the course of the show. Thank you so much. Yes, the link is there.
So you'll see the link now. Yeah. If you click on this, basically it'll take you to a subscription page. You can also see my articles. And I'm a new kind of a baby in the field of articles, but I have a published article in Times of India blogs about the root cause of sexual suppression in India. I don't know if you read it, VG. I'll send you the article.
No, I haven't. You send me the link. I'll definitely go.
Yeah, that got published last year in the TOI blogs, and it's my views on where it, the root cause of the suppression, the cause of the suppression in the country, and where it stems from, based on our past, the past. So
cultural conditioning, everything boils down to that. I feel.
Yeah.
That is where we need to change.
Yeah. And now so this is something that this is new to me. I'm now writing, articles, I'm blogging. So this is all there on my website on this link. If you subscribe, you'll get my articles, and also the publisher, and, you'll be directly getting notified about the book, and so you can stay up to date. So I really encourage everyone, whoever sees this to get, go to this link, which is yourstrulyastha.com/subscribe. So
Great.
yourstrulyastha.com.
We'll subscribe, don't worry. We'll
yes. Collegiate family will definitely subscribe.
Very sure.
This is also like a pen name. You can say Astha, so yours truly Astha.
Yes, and Astha means such a lot, Yours truly, Astha by itself. इसके मन में अगर आस्था हो, इसके लिए भी आस्था हो. Yes, भगवान के लिए भी आस्था हो, अपने आप पर आस्था हो,
अपने आप पे आस्था हो.
बिल्कुल, वही सबसे बड़ी बात
पहले
है.
अपने आप पे आस्था हो, फिर भगवान में आस्था हो.
Yes, पहले अपने आप पर आस्था रहनी चाहिए. Then it's the external. First the internal, and then, because the external world is a reflection of the internal.
Of the internal world. So happiness comes from within. It cannot be found on the outside, in what you call so-called material world, or you cannot really, by your material possessions, or by achieving all the wealth in the world. I mean, sometimes you cannot achieve that same happiness.
Yes,
and sometimes
you can get pleasure, but not happiness by material.
That is it. So fulfillment is internal. That is the main
internal, exactly.
Happiness is internal.
And sometimes the smallest thing then can give you that.
It's the smallest thing, Astha, in the morning, like when I go on my terrace, mere terrace may have lots of flowers, and the first marigold which blooms, winter mein pehli wali jo blossom karti hai na, when I look at it, I really feel the beauty of nature. Small little thing, but it gives me great happiness. Maybe when the rest of the flowers grow during the season, उतना वो नहीं होता है, but पहले वाली जब when that खिलती है ना, that फूल, तो अलग सा एक मन में, that sense of happiness.
उत्साह होती है. And we can show that through our mudras,
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
So the
beauty of dance.
Beauty of dance. There's a moment I remember actually that I, maybe as we're closing, I can share my moment of there's so many, but one time my guru told me that, we sometimes can't have the freedom to travel, or we can't go from place to place. We can't go take that stroll in the mountains, or we can't, run by the coast, but we can show it all through our dance, like, and you really can, right? I mean, that flower, is there in our eyes, and then we even show the mountains, like
Absolutely.
we're right there,
Absolutely.
and we just, we're like by
the
the
river,
sea,
the rippling, waves of the river or the sea.
by the sea when
ocean.
we want. We're in a garden, we can just show the blossoming of the flowers, and so it's like that is like, it's all, what is that? That's all within us, right? So we don't necessarily have to run around, and in COVID we were all in one place, but we discovered so much within us, within us. So I mean, when is it that amidst all our, we're always very busy traveling, we're always so busy here and there and discovering things out there, but when can we discover what's within us? So this is I hope
this is the journey of discovery. The pandemic has done a world of good. I have so many students, Astha, who learned classical dancing when they were in school. Then life happened to them, they moved on, they took up other careers, but during the pandemic, many of them are married. They went back to choreograph one piece of music in different parts of the world. And thanks to the technology we have, all the videos have been sort of made into a collage. And it's so beautiful. Each one is dancing in her own shaili. Koi Odissi kar rahi hai, koi Bharatnatyam kar rahi hai, koi Kathak kar rahi hai, but dancing to the same music, the same
all the same at the end of the day. Sari Shelly, all of them come. It's all the same. Bharatnatyam, the different,
it was so
slightly different mudras, but yeah. So ultimately, like, I hope that my dance and my videos and my journey, my experiences have been,
it'll all gel together. It'll all come together.
Yes. To show you that happiness is within, because that's really what it's all
about. Dua hai tumhare saath, blessings from the above. And as long as you are connected with that supreme power, that supreme consciousness, everything will work perfectly. It's that disconnect between the Paramatma and the Atma. We forget that the Atma is a manifestation of the Paramatma. As long as we have that connect, everything will work. It is when something comes between, we disconnect, that we become unhappy, we become bitter, and we are caught into the morass of the low feelings. So if you want to rise above that, we have to connect with the super consciousness.
Thank you, Viji. You are so eloquent. You are so eloquent, and really, and my blessings to you also and everyone here.
Thank you. And so I'll just tell you, maybe the others, that I'm on the same journey as Astha. Speak to a fortune. I'm creating my mastermind for women 30 to 60. It's an expression mastermind, because as I'm sure Dr. Surinder has understood, that for me, expression is very important, especially women. They have to come into their own. Now, we are Shakti. We are Shakti incarnate. Why are we stifling our voices? Today, the population of women is nearly 40% of the Indian population. Come out, contribute, create, produce, become a part of the productive force.
I normally say that men are nothing in comparison to women. I personally believe, really.
No, but really, Viji, I'm sure you are going to empower and inspire and strengthen so many women by your mastermind.
That is my mission, to empower women.
I'm there behind
you. Will. And you have got a very great energy, good energy, very good energy.
Very much.
Thank you.
Very good energy.
I think it's a fantastic testimonial I'm getting even before I start.
I'm telling us, this is a sincere compliment,
Thank you so much.
What you have, I just told you that.
Thank you so much.
I'm behind you 100%, because, I'm in a new marriage. Recently we've been traveling so much, and, haven't even got a chance to really dig into all the material, all the work with Arfina also and everything, but I am right there. If there's anything you need before, you need you to come in as a guest speaker, just to observe, for anything in your masterminds, I'm there, even for a session. Because I know you're going to do wonders. You're going to impact so many women, so many.
That is my mission. That is my mission. Initially it was parenting, but then, when I did this STF, then I felt that, yes, I have now come into my métier, Iske liye hi I have been born, to empower women.
That's what it's about.
And if you feel that, you must fulfill that. Don't worry. I'm very sure. जैसी नियत है वैसी नियत ही होती है.
Definitely. And now though, like, I'm a free bird, my daughter is she has reached a level, she's an urban conservationist, She is an expert on ICOMOS panel. And so she's leading her own life. Bombay mein hai, Mumbai mein hai. That's a karma khetra. I lost my husband this April to COVID.
I'm so sorry. So
I am alone in that sense, but I know I'm not alone because
see, we are your family. Don't worry. If you have any problem, we are there to help you out. Don't worry.
Yes.
You can let us know anytime.
Thank you. I have this world waiting for me. And we have this beautiful Arfin family. That's when, when my relations call me, webinar mein hu, I'm talking to someone or the other across the world, So it's never a moment of, being alone. Yes.
Yeah.
When I'm in my thoughts,
talking to each other, we never feel that we are newcomers and we don't know each other. It looks like we know each other for a very long time.
Absolutely. It's a soul connect across time and space, across all dimension. That is it.
I want to share something with you during this COVID. A lot of people lost their lives. It's really, really sad to even think about it. But I have a friend of mine, even to talk about it, it's hard, but I want to share because I know you lost someone, your husband. It's really, my friend, she was in the hospital also and struggled and didn't make it. I met her husband. Her husband is now carrying her work. Babita Saxena, I'm saying her name, so I'm saying her name because I probably didn't say it while she was alive. Okay.
But her
husband, yes. And she was a great dancer. She was a singer herself. She promoted all the festivals of India. She had events. She had a Let's Give Back initiative, Back to Roots initiative, where she invited me as a speaker, and I spoke with her. I even performed once with her, and these moments I just remember, they just go by, So now her husband is carrying her work forward, even her legacy of, all her culinary work. She was working in cooking, all the cultural, all the aspects of Indian cooking, Indian art, Indian crafts, Indian dance, saris, music, everything she was involved with, so all that work her husband is currently taking forward. And there's stories like this.
Yes. So I dedicated my book to my husband, and that is why I really worked overtime, to complete it before unka sraad ceremony ke aage. I wanted it to be complete. And that was my driving force because of COVID. 1 month ke baad hua unka sraad. So I said, 1 mahine ke andar I have to complete it. I'm going to dedicate it to him. So that was like my,
I'm sure it'll be great.
Biggest power leap.
So look forward to reading your book, and
please
look forward to sharing mine.
It's on Amazon.com if you're in the States, or it's on Kindle unpublished. And mind you, I published it on my own, so I learned everything from scratch, how to publish it on Kindle. I learned Canva to do the cover myself. So that itself was a journey of growth at 70.
And we are waiting for
you're a powerhouse. You're a powerhouse. 70 is nothing, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I know it.
Because I remember Dean, in one of our masterminds, Dean was saying, don't look at this gap you have to cover. Look at the reverse gap. Where were you 2 years back? And how have you evolved over those 2 years?
Yes.
And that is tremendous. So that is what gives me that drive from within. ये 2 साल में ये कर सकती थी. If I've done this, I've achieved this.
2 years. So imagine the possibility in the next 30, 40 years. Yes. I'm sure you'll be like, 30, 40 years minimum.
So this was wonderful, Astha. Thank you for coming on my show. And anyone is welcome. You can also share your thoughts on whatever we've been talking. Dr. Surya, please contribute. It'll be lovely if you share your thoughts.
I love to be with you, and your energy is really very good. And definitely it's a very good thought when you feel to contribute something to the society. Is nothing more than that anybody can else do in his life. This is the greatest ever thought. अपने लिए हर बंदा जीता है ना?
सबके लिए तो सभी जीते हैं ना, औरों के लिए जियो तो तब कुछ बात बनती है
काम आदमी का औरों के काम आना है.
बिल्कुल.
बिल्कुल.
ये है.
How can we come to use to anybody if you're not true to ourselves? That's
yes.
जो अपने लिए जीते हैं वो प्लेयर में जीते हैं.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. Rachna ji, you must be
जीते वो
so
happiness
proud
के
of
लिए
your
जीते।
daughter and all that she has accomplished and is going to further accomplish. Is she there? Your mother?
I think she must be listening, or maybe she's gone somewhere
She's
to do
busy
some
doing
work.
some work.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
she's come back. रचना जी कैसे लगा? अपनी
हाँ,
बेटी की जीवन आपके सामने
अच्छा।
जीवन गाथा has been unfolded.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
I think
Tell
she's
you
just
what.
missing me right now. I think she just wants to come here.
Hug
and
you.
probably
She wants to give you a hug.
Away, give me a hug. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And be away
Yeah.
from the pollution. That pollution. Yeah.
No, I'm very happy that she's well settled and, you know, yeah, a dream come true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
True.
Everything. Life can be a dream.
Happy,
come
happy that she wants to do something for the society, especially for women. That's the more
Yes,
important
yes.
part.
Yes, yes.
Everybody settled in his.
She's been
Yeah.
doing that for a while. It's just, you know, I'm pointing out what she's done new. But this, yeah.
But yeah, parents want, of course,
Yes.
that, you know.
And your father's also there, you were saying. Is he also there?
Yeah, I think they're sitting at the dinner table right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's
So,
now
I
8:45.
think we sign off now. Yeah, we sign off now.
So thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you,
Thank
Astha.
you so much.
It was a
Vijay. I'm
pleasure.
So glad we could.
Thank you for being
Bye-bye.
here.
Namaste to everyone. Thank you.
Namaste, ji, namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saida ji. Head. And do come in as a guest on my mastermind when I start.
Absolutely.
Maybe as a
Let's
guest
do
speaker.
that.
I'll invite you as a guest speaker.
I would love to.
Encourage
Love to.
others to
Share.
be able to express their passion. You know what we call the ikigai. Ikigai is nothing but you transfer your passion into purpose, into business. So
Into purpose, into business, into the mastermind. Absolutely. I
And
would
so
love to.
it's
Come and
that
share
transition.
and be a part of it. Absolutely.
Bye then. Ciao.
Bye.
Signing off.
Bye.
Asta, lovely to have you. And thank you everyone who has joined in. Rashmi, thank you for joining in also. So
I leave now.
I'm signing off. Thank you. Bye-bye.